I showed up to my daughter's graduation as a proud single mom, but my seat had a sign that read, "Trailer Trash Welfare Mom." The dean's wife laughed until my daughter said, "Mom, we're leaving." The next morning, the university received a call that changed everything. I found my seat in the family section of Westfield University's grand auditorium. Row K, seat 14. Little place cards sitting on the velvet chair, fancy cardstock with embossed gold lettering, the kind that screamed expensive, prestigious, important. Linda Chen, mother of Sarah Chen. But someone had added something below it, in thick black Sharpie marker, fresh ink, still slightly wet, still smelling like chemicals. Trailer Trash Welfare Mom. My heart stopped, actually stopped, like someone had reached into my chest and squeezed. I stared at it, blinking rapidly, hoping I'd misread, hoping my tired eyes were playing tricks after my overnight cleaning shift, hoping this wasn't real, but it was, right there, in permanent marker, bold letters, deliberate, cruel. I looked up slowly, saw them immediately. 3 rows behind me, Dean Morrison's wife Patricia and her friends, 3 women in designer dresses that probably cost more than my monthly rent, expensive jewelry catching the auditorium lights, perfect hair, perfect makeup, perfect lives, whispering, giggling, looking straight at me, not even trying to hide it. They'd done this, they'd written this, and they were enjoying watching me discover it, waiting for my reaction, waiting for the show. 15 years. That's how long I'd raised Sarah alone after her father walked out, after he decided being a husband and father was too much pressure and left us with nothing but debt, unpaid bills, and broken promises. 15 years of cleaning office buildings at night, starting at 10 p.m. when Sarah went to bed, finishing at 6 a.m. before she woke up for school, scrubbing toilets in corporate headquarters, emptying trash cans in law firms, mopping marble floors in banks while the world slept, and I tried not to think about how tired I was. 15 years of double shifts when rent was due, of skipping meals so Sarah could have seconds, of telling her I'm not hungry when really I was just broke. 15 years of clipping coupons from Sunday newspapers, shopping clearance racks at Target and Walmart, wearing the same winter coat for 7 years, the one with the broken zipper I safety pinned closed so Sarah could have new school supplies, new shoes when hers wore out, new backpack each September. 15 years of helping with homework at our small kitchen table, science projects built with poster board from the dollar store, book reports typed on a computer I'd bought used for $75, math problems worked out on scratch paper while I fought to keep my eyes open. 15 years of driving her to soccer practice in my beat-up 2004 Honda Civic with 200,000 miles and a check engine light that had been on for 3 years. Of never missing a parent-teacher conference even when I was exhausted, even when my body ached from scrubbing floors, even when I wanted to collapse. But we did it. We survived. We more than survived. We succeeded. Sarah graduated top of her class, valedictorian, perfect GPA, full scholarship to Westfield University, one of the best schools in the state, the kind of school I'd only seen in movies, the kind of school I never dreamed my daughter could attend. And today, this beautiful Saturday morning in May with sunshine streaming through the auditorium windows, she was getting her diploma, bachelor's degree in computer science, summa cum laude, dean's list all 4 years, perfect record. I was so proud, so grateful, so ready to watch my daughter walk across that stage and accept what she'd earned through brilliance and determination and work ethic she'd learned from watching me, until I saw the sign, until they made sure I knew I didn't belong here. The ceremony was everything you'd expect from a prestigious university. Grand auditorium with marble floors that echoed when you walked, gold curtains framing a massive stage, crystal chandeliers that probably cost more than I'd make in a decade, programs printed on thick, expensive paper with embossed university logos and gold foil, 500 people filling the seats, families dressed in their absolute best, mothers in silk dresses and fathers in tailored suits, grandparents with jewelry that sparkled, siblings in designer clothes, everyone celebrating, everyone belonging, professors in academic robes processing down the center aisle, photographers with professional cameras, video cameras on tripods, a string quartet playing classical music. Everything perfect, everything expensive, everything elite. I sat in my Target dress, the nicest thing I owned, navy blue, simple cut, $28 on clearance. I'd bought it specifically for today 3 months ago when I saw it marked down, paired it with black heels I'd had for 6 years, the only pair I owned, that hurt my feet but looked professional enough. I didn't care that I looked plain, that my outfit probably cost less than anyone else's handbag, that I was obviously different from everyone around me. My daughter was graduating from Westfield University. That's all that mattered. That's all that should have mattered. Until the sign made me matter in a different way, made me visible, made me a target, made me entertainment. Well, what did we expect? Mrs. Morrison said loudly, not even trying to whisper, voice carrying across 3 rows, meant to be heard. She works as a janitor at the Riverside office complex. I've seen her there emptying trash cans when I work late. Probably lives in some government-subsidized dump. Her friend, blonde woman in a Chanel suit that I recognized from the magazines at the grocery store checkout, laughed, sharp, mean, delighted. I heard from Barbara in admissions that she's on food stamps, government assistance, Section 8 housing, and she thinks she belongs here with real parents, with people who actually contribute to society instead of taking from it. The third woman, redhead with a diamond necklace that caught the chandelier light like a small sun, joined in eagerly. Did you see her dress? Target clearance. I'd bet my house on it. Probably couldn't even afford the parking garage today. Bet she took the bus. More laughter. Can you imagine taking public transportation to your daughter's university graduation? Their laughter got louder, more confident, more cruel, feeding off each other, performing for their audience. People around us started turning, staring, whispering to each other behind programs, pointing subtly, the humiliation spreading like a stain, like something toxic. My face felt hot, burning. 15 years of sacrifice, 15 years of working 2 jobs, cleaning at night, retail on weekends when I could get shifts, 15 years of being everything for Sarah, everything she needed, mother, father, provider, protector, cheerleader, everything, and they turned it into a joke, into entertainment, into a sign written in marker for everyone to see, into proof that I didn't belong in their world. I stood up slowly, carefully, quietly. I wouldn't make a scene, wouldn't ruin Sarah's day, wouldn't give them more ammunition. I'd just leave, slip out through the side exit, maybe watch the ceremony from the lobby if they had screens, maybe just go sit in my car until it was over. Then a hand grabbed mine, firm, strong, familiar. Mom. Sarah's voice was quiet but firm. She was standing right beside me in the aisle, still in her cap and gown, the black graduation gown with the gold honors cords, the cap with the tassel she'd been so excited about. She wasn't supposed to be here, wasn't supposed to leave the graduate staging area backstage. Her eyes met mine, and I saw something I'd never seen before in my daughter's face, something hard, something cold, something dangerous, something that made me think of steel, of ice, of finality. Sarah, it's okay, I whispered, trying to smile, trying to be strong. This is your graduation, your big day, the day you've worked so hard for. I'll just go. I'll wait outside. I'll see you after. We're leaving, Mom. Not loud, but absolute. Final. What? No, honey, you can't. You've worked so hard for this. 4 years. Your diploma. We're leaving. Louder now. Clearer. Carrying across the auditorium, people turning to look. The string quartet stopped playing mid-note. Someone must have signaled them. The entire auditorium went silent. 500 people in expensive clothes. 500 pairs of eyes turning to watch this unexpected drama. Sarah looked directly at Mrs. Morrison, directly at the 3 women who'd written the sign, who'd laughed, who'd made this moment, my proudest moment, into something cruel and small. You just made the worst mistake of your life, Sarah said, voice carrying through the perfect acoustics, crystal clear, no wavering, no doubt. Then she took my hand, squeezed it tight, and walked toward the exit, still in her cap and gown, still wearing her honors cords that marked her as one of the top students, leaving her diploma behind, leaving the ceremony, leaving everything she'd worked for me, because of me, to protect me. The auditorium erupted, gasps, whispers, murmurs. Mrs. Morrison's face went white, then red, then white again. We walked out into the bright May sunshine. Sarah didn't look back, didn't hesitate, just kept walking, kept holding my hand. We drove home in silence. Sarah's hands gripped the steering wheel of her car, a nice car, a 2023 Honda Accord. She'd bought it 6 months ago. Cash, no loan. I'd asked where she got the money. She'd said work stuff and changed the subject quickly. I'd stopped asking because I trusted her, because she'd always been responsible, because she'd never given me reason to worry. Our apartment was 20 minutes from campus. Small 2-bedroom in a rent-controlled building. 3rd floor walk-up. No elevator, but it was ours. Clean, safe, home. Better than some of the places we'd lived when Sarah was younger. So much better. When we got inside, when she finally parked in our assigned spot and we climbed the stairs, she still hadn't spoken. Hadn't said a word, just breathed heavily, angrily. She sat down on our couch, the one we'd bought from Goodwill 8 years ago for $75. Brown fabric, worn but comfortable. We'd reupholstered it ourselves with YouTube tutorials and fabric from a remnant sale. Spent 3 weekends working on it together. One of my favorite memories. I saw it, Mom, she said finally, voice shaking, hands shaking. I saw them write it. I was backstage looking through the curtain, trying to find you in the audience. I watched Mrs. Morrison pull out a marker, watched her friends laugh while she wrote it, watched them put it on your seat. My breath caught, stopped. Then why didn't you stop them? You could have told someone, because I needed to see if they'd really do it. Tears in her eyes now, real tears, angry tears, the kind that come from rage, not sadness. If they'd really insult the woman who gave up everything for me, who worked nights so I could study, who wore the same coat for years so I could have new school clothes, who skipped meals so I could eat lunch, I needed to see if they were really that cruel, that evil. She opened her laptop, pulled it onto her lap, started typing rapidly. Password, another password, security questions. Mom, remember my tech internship, the one I did junior and senior year, the one I said was boring corporate work? I nodded. She'd worked for some startup in Portland. Long hours, lots of coding, late nights. She'd complained about it sometimes, said it was good experience, but nothing exciting, just building an app, just learning the industry. My team, 4 of us, all students from different schools, created an app, a platform for student loans. It helps students manage debt, find better interest rates, consolidate payments, understand their options. We thought it was useful, helpful, thought maybe a few thousand people would download it. She turned the screen toward me. Bank statement. Numbers I couldn't process, couldn't understand. Too many zeros. Last month, a venture capital firm in San Francisco bought it. She looked at me, really looked at me with eyes that were suddenly older, harder. For $18 million, my share was 40% because I wrote most of the code. $7.2 million after taxes and fees. I couldn't breathe, couldn't process, couldn't understand what she was saying. What? That's not, you can't. And for the past 6 months, since we got the acquisition offer and I knew the money was coming, I've been quietly donating to Westfield. Anonymous donations through my lawyer. New computer labs for the engineering department. New books for the library. Scholarships for first-generation college students like me. Funding for the arts program that was going to be cut. A new STEM center. Her fingers moved across the keyboard, pulling up documents, emails, contracts, receipts. As of yesterday morning, I'm Westfield's largest private donor. $22 million pledged over 5 years. The university has been planning next year's entire budget around my donations. New buildings, new programs, new faculty positions, new scholarships. The president announced it last month to the board, called it a transformative gift that will define the next decade. Sarah, this morning at 8 a.m. I canceled it. Her voice went cold, flat, final, like a door slamming. Every single dollar, every pledge, every commitment, all of it, gone. My hand covered my mouth. You can't, the university, all those students who need, I already did. Sent the cancellation notice to the Board of Trustees at exactly 8:01 a.m., to the development office, to President Richardson, to Dean Morrison himself. Legal notice, binding, irrevocable. It's done, over, finished. She pulled up an email. Sent items. I could see the recipients, dozens of them. University officials, board members, lawyers. Dear President Richardson, and members of the Board of Trustees, effective immediately, I am withdrawing all pledged donations to Westfield University. All commitments, both current and future, are hereby canceled. This decision is final and non-negotiable. Reason. At my graduation ceremony this morning, Dean Morrison's wife and her associates publicly humiliated my mother, a custodial worker, by labeling her trailer trash welfare mom on her seat assignment. This occurred in your auditorium, at your event, representing your institution. You had the opportunity to create an environment of respect and dignity. You failed. Consequences follow failure. Sarah Chen, class of 2024. Her phone started ringing immediately, buzzing on the coffee table like an angry wasp. Unknown number, then another call, then another, then text messages flooding in. Dozens, hundreds, urgent. President Richardson, please call immediately. Dean Morrison. Sarah, we need to talk. Development office. She ignored all of it, just watched the screen light up, over and over. Desperate attempts to reach her, to fix this, to undo what she'd done. The calls kept coming, every 30 seconds. Different numbers, different people, all desperate. Finally, after the 20th call in 10 minutes, she answered. Put it on speaker. Set it on the coffee table between us. Sarah, thank God. This is Dean Morrison. We need to talk. Urgently. Right now. There's been some kind of terrible mistake with your donation cancellation. No mistake. Her voice was ice. Pure ice. Arctic cold. Sarah, please. Let me explain. My wife, Patricia, she didn't mean anything by it. It was a joke. Poor taste, yes, but just a joke. Your wife called my mother trailer trash. Wrote it on a sign. At my graduation. In front of 500 people. You stood there. You were right there. You saw it. You did nothing. I swear I didn't see the sign. If I had, I would have. You let them mock the woman who worked night shifts so I could study. Sarah's voice got harder, colder. Who cleaned the offices you walk through every day without even noticing the people who keep them clean? Who gave up everything, her health, her time, her youth, her dreams, so I could succeed. You chose cruelty over decency. Now you lose everything. Please, Sarah, you have to understand, the university, we're counting on that money. We've already committed to projects, hired new faculty, made promises to students. We'll have to lay off professors, cut programs, cancel scholarships. We could lose our accreditation rating. Our ranking will plummet. Sarah's face didn't change, didn't soften, didn't show mercy. Should have thought about that before you let 3 wealthy women humiliate a custodian who's worth more than all of you combined. Sarah, I'm begging you. His voice cracked, actual crying. $22 million. Do you understand what this will do to us? To the students? To the faculty? To the university's future? Do you understand what your wife did to my mother? Do you understand what it feels like to work 3 jobs and still be called trash? To sacrifice everything and be treated like you're worthless? We'll apologize publicly. Patricia will apologize. I'll apologize. We'll do anything. You had your chance to do the right thing. You chose the wrong thing. Now you live with the consequences. The board is panicking. The president is threatening resignations. This will destroy. Good. Single word. Final. You wanted to know where I came from? You wanted to judge my mother for being poor? For working a lesser job? For needing assistance when the system is designed to keep people like us down? Fine. Now you'll never forget. Now every time you cut a program or lay off a professor or lose a grant because of budget shortfalls, you'll remember. You'll remember the janitor's daughter who paid for everything. The trailer trash welfare mom who raised a multimillionaire while you raised raised entitled bullies who find humor in cruelty. Silence on the other end. Heavy silence. We're done here, Sarah said. Don't call again. She hung up, set the phone down, turned it face down on the table. Then she looked at me, really looked at me with tears streaming down her face now. They don't get to do that to you, Mom. They don't get to make you feel small. Not after everything you've sacrificed. Not after everything you've given. Not after you've been both mother and father and provider and protector for 15 years. I started crying. Couldn't help it. Couldn't hold it back. The money, Sarah, that money could help so many students. I don't care. I care about you. Only you. You're the only thing that's ever mattered. Her phone started ringing again. The university president now. Board members. Development officers. All desperate. All panicking. All realizing what they'd lost. Sarah picked up her phone, powered it completely off, set it down. Done. They wanted to know where I came from, she said quietly. Now they'll never forget. And we sat there in our small apartment, on our Goodwill couch, in our modest home, worth more than all their marble floors and crystal chandeliers combined.